you guys get?
You live right.
We didn't get much.
Wow, that'll
In
be
town
super
here.
for this crop
Lee.
at this point.
Perfect timing.
Wow.
Okay, we should be going live.
30 seconds. Got it. I got the notification. Yeah. It says we're live.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives me the notification too.
Allison, why would you say that? Hey, look, there was 21 people that looked at it last week. Yeah. Give us the credit where it's due.
Hey, it's transparency.
Transparency, that's right.
All right. I crossed off number one already.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We'll call the Board of County Commissioners to order for today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. It is 9 a.m. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance this morning, and we'll have Natalie lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'd like to welcome our 5 viewers on YouTube this morning. Please silence your cell phones so they do not disrupt the meeting this morning as well. Call for public comment may be submitted in person or by calling on telephone at 605-882-6248 or 605-882-6297. Commissioners, any conflict of interest items this morning?
No.
No.
Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 4, and that is action to approve the July 21st agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Swear, second by Johnson. Any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5 is action to approve the July 14th minutes.
So move. Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us down to item number 6. This is our monthly reports, and we'll begin with the Director of Equalization, Shauna Constant. Good morning, Shauna.
Good morning, Sean.
Don't have too much to report this month, but we have heard from the Department of Revenue. Our 2026 values have been certified. They've also sent over our egg productivity numbers last week. It looks like, just at a glance, approximately a 4% increase in egg land this coming year. And then we have received 4 applications for our appraiser assistant position already. So hopefully we can get going on that and get that filled and keep going. Otherwise, we're just doing our normal duties with sales and transfers, and the appraisers are still out at the lake.
How are they doing out at the lake?
Good. We're getting stuff
Half-
done.
half
We
done?
had half done last year. And this year how far are they? They're about half done with this half, or getting close anyway. Yeah.
Good.
So that's all I really have for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
When do you hope to have that position filled in your office?
I would like to have someone working as soon as possible. And as far as an appraiser later, I haven't even really thought about that yet. So.
Are you keeping up with all the work with your limited
Well,
staff,
we are
or-
trying. They are taking turns going out with each other, because then they still have to work up all the houses. So then the 3 of them are just kind of taking turns. And if there's any appointments and stuff, then I'll go out, or one of the office gals will go out and help out with appointments and stuff. So.
Okay.
Good.
So, yep.
All right,
Thank
great.
you.
Well, thanks for the update. Get that filled as soon as we can.
Do we need to do the budget? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Should have that in front of you on in your packets. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, the only differences that I have this year, we put in a proposed 3% employee wage increase. And then the 10% health insurance increase and a 10% dental insurance increase. And then honestly, the only other thing that changed was I think there's a $2,000 increase in maintenance contracts this year. Otherwise, everything else is completely the same.
Make it easy. That's good.
Yes.
Your maintenance contracts, what are they?
That is basically for printers, printers, and then the copy machine, but then we also have like our Provel, Provel, Esri. We basically have a contract with all of our
Software
softwares.
vendors
Yep,
for
software
updates.
vendors.
That sort of
So,
thing.
yep.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, is, Shauna, is
Commissioner?
that, yeah, is that, that's line 425 you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions on the budget? If not, all right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Shauna.
All right, we'll move on to our highway superintendent, Randy Falvey. Good morning, Randy.
Morning, Randy.
Good morning.
This is kind of the Randy show now, isn't it?
Unfortunate.
Yeah, you're gonna be up here for a little bit.
Just a wee bit, if you don't mind doing everything consecutively.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine.
Okay. So as far as the monthly report, Basin and Century has started the remodel portion of our truck storage. They're pulling electrical conduit, so they can insulate the ceiling first. They are having a little issues getting the insulation, unfortunately, so it's a little backlogged right now. But they hope to have it by the end of this week, and then they're gonna start siding the outside. Banner has been working on this year's bridge inspections, and they just finished up actually yesterday. Unfortunately, we did have to close one of the bridges on Cottonwood Street due to further deterioration with the piles and portion of the structure. So it's not safe right now to be driving over that. So we did order some signage. We'll have that up and fully closed with newer signage coming up here in the near future.
Randy, where is that located at?
If you go straight north on County Road 17,
Okay,
that is just 3 miles south of the county line.
Pretty close to Cottonwood Lake.
So, Mr. Chair, with that bridge, what's the plan? I mean, I think your email said you're putting in for the,
Big program again
Big
this year.
program.
We did last year, and that is the bridge we missed out by 0.5%, unfortunately.
that would be to replace it completely?
That is correct, with a larger structure, and they would open up that area just a little bit to allow better flow through there. And that is the intent as of right now, so.
how is that going to impact our local traffic through there?
Been in touch with the school district and stuff like that. They are rerouting their buses and stuff like that. Spoke with the farmer in the area that has property on the one side. He said that should not be a huge issue.
Okay.
But with that, another bridge to the north has also had some issues with it. It's still fully travelable, and I'm looking at getting somebody in there to take a look at it. What it is a part of the bridge deck is separated a little bit, so there's a little gap. So that's something that can be easily addressed. Another thing, Mark Yunker from Banner and I sat down with representatives from Northern Con-Ag and the Township of Rawville. 2 bridges on the either side of the county road that leads to the casino are about 5 years out for life expectancy, unfortunately. So we're trying to be preemptive and stay ahead of this. So we looked for alternatives as far as alternative haul roads, possibly one going to the south, taking the right directly to 6. Or what else they would have to do is send them north before they can send them south out to the I system. So that's something I'll discuss a little bit later in one of these other agenda portions. It's the age that's working against us. Most of these bridges are about 50 years out, and everything is coming due at once, unfortunately.
So are those the bridges east or west of the casino there?
They are east of the casino, right on County Road 11, just south
Okay.
of Con-Ag.
Yep.
So that's why that would impact Con-Ag considerably. So again, that's why we're trying to stay ahead of this. Holloway Construction out of Mitchell is working on a cement and riprap project on 43rd Street, which is our 458th Avenue, just north of FedEx property there. Doing a little cement work and riprap due to some water damage that had been done previously. We did finish our top cut on the country roads and we did start chip sealing. Just a note to the general public to be aware that we're gonna have slow moving traffic out there and we're gonna have fresh oil and loose gravel. So something to be aware of. We did borrow a hot box from the city, and what a hot box is we put 1/2 inch asphalt hot mix into, and we go and we patch roads. What we try and do is eliminate divots on the roads, and we're doing that on some of the roads we're going to be chip sealing this year, just trying to smooth them out a little bit more. We did interviews and we did fill a maintenance 2 position, starting at $27.66 an hour, and we were able to find an excellent applicant for that. And unfortunately, last week we did have to spend another portion of a day cleaning up tree debris from some wind damage associated with a storm they got about 2.5 inches of rain out of. So nothing major, but all taken care of. Any questions?
Commissioner Gable, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right, let's go ahead and move down to, let's see, let's review your budget quick here, since we got that up. 2027.
Hey, there were some up and down items. Fortunately, we were able to come in under last year's budget. First of all, with salary this year, put in for a 4% increase. But this year will be the first year we'll actually be fully staffed with everybody. And with our wage study increase last year, that's why there's such a jump from last year as far as wage and salary. That also increased our retirement just a little bit. Medicare did come up a slight percentage. Retirement actually took a little dive due to the fact we have a younger group of people right now. Supplementary retirement stayed the same, but health insurance did jump due to the fact that these younger people have larger families. So there was about a 24% increase there. Dental stayed about the same, a slight increase. And then workman's comp actually stayed within reason. So there's a slight increase of about 10.6% increase overall with wages this year into next year. Moving down, bridge insurance did increase a little bit. That's up 13%. Our professional services would be hiring out our engineers and whatnot did decrease a little bit, but that's made up in other areas due to the bridge projects and whatnot. 425 repairs and maintenance has decreased a large percentage, 34%. Due to the fact that I pulled out the pavement markings, you'll see that move down to the 42502 line. And we did finish a lot of our smaller projects this year as far as maintenance of equipment. So that was able to decrease our amount there. Office equipment stayed the same. Parts and supplies, slight drop there again, due to the fact we were able to do a lot of work this year on some of our equipment. Clothing allowance, just a slight drop there. Snow removal, supplemental equipment, that has stayed the same as far as our snow removal, whether it's sand, salt, snow equipment itself. Travel and conference is a slight increase to the fact I'm attempting to attend one more conference this coming year. So that's, again, a slight increase there. Utilities, we put an increase in due to the fact that we're now going to be heating our truck storage area. So that's going to be an increase in utilities there. There was an increase, a decrease rather, in other expenses due to the fact that we do have a smaller project this year. Instead of the 14th Avenue Bridge project, we have a smaller bridge on County Road 11, so that dropped that amount there. And our wheel tax has stayed the same. So overall in that area, we've had a 17.5% decrease. And then moving on to the last section, bridge and machinery equipment. This year, we're only looking at projecting to purchase 3 items. That would be a hot box, a water tanker, and a generator for the shop itself, which we could not fit into this year's project planning. So that brought that amount down 20%. And then the overall capital improvement increased by $100,000 due to the fact that we're going to be resurfacing County Road 11. So overall, we're looking at about a 6.8% decrease over last year.
Okay.
Any questions?
Like decreases.
Yes,
Decreases.
most definitely.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, since you're up here, let's go ahead and take item number 8. This is action to approve resolution 2026-18 authorizing an application for the bridge improvement grant funds for bridge ID number 15-154-080.
Yes, this is for design of the new bridge on this with the request of the big program. There is no design cost for this, so this is just strictly an application that I would ask to be approved.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by
Second.
Gable, second by Schwer. Any discussion?
Just Randy on the, Mr. Chair, if I may. So
Go ahead, Commissioner Gable.
does the point system impact on the design portion again when they're it does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Every aspect that we look at with these bridges impacts that big program point system.
Have we seen the effect of the, our county wheel tax not being maxed out on this portion of the, when we do the design grants?
Yes, that makes a huge difference. If we could get the wheel tax increase, that would
Yeah.
definitely help in our favor.
Okay. All right. I guess I was, just trying to differentiate, is there a difference between whether you're applying for the design part of the project or for the construction part? So, but you're saying it's on both.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good
okay.
question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? See none. We do have a motion in a second, so let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries on item number 8. Item number 9 is action to approve resolution 2026-19 authorizing an application for the bridge improvement grant funds for bridge ID number 15-190-099. Randy.
Yes, again, this is a request to approve authorization for the big program. This is one of the bridges on County Road 11 that I alluded to earlier in my monthly report. This is the bridge that is north of the road that leads to the casino, just south of Con Egg. This bridge is about 5 years out. So what we're trying to do is preemptively stay ahead of this. If we can line this up and get the hydraulic study, that is going to give us a better number with the big system, as Lee had alluded to. So what we would have to do in order to get ahead of this would be to pay 50% of the cost on this. That would be a cost of $29,600. And I would recommend we do that so that, again, we stay ahead of this. Trying to get a better standing with the big program. Excuse me.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10 is action to approve resolution 2026-20 authorizing an application for the bridge improvement grant funds, bridge ID number 15-190-111.
Okay, again, this is a request to approve for the big program. This is the bridge now that is south of the casino road, also on County Road 11, south of Con Egg. This one is not quite as important as the one north because some of the traffic that comes from Con Egg will go east on County Road 6 out to the I system, but again, a very heavily traveled bridge. So what we're trying to do is, again, stay ahead of the system. If we contribute 50% of the share cost to the hydraulic study, that would bring us at $26,400. And again, I would ask that we do that again to stay ahead of the system.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Discussion. See none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Randy, I appreciate you staying on top of that. It's
We're
important.
trying our
that-
best. Yeah.
Important that we do that.
It is, but it's unfortunate everything is coming due at once.
Yeah, that's right. We'll do the best we can.
Yes.
Item number 11 is discussion possible action to approve a quote for Codington County Bridge 15-268-139. Randy, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Yes, this is, excuse me 1 second here. Get my clips to go apart. This is a bridge on County Road 3-4. What it is washout issue, so we need to put some riprap on it. And I did get 2 quotes. One from Holloway Construction out of Mitchell for $17,000. And another one from Basin out of Hayti for $42,193.95. The reason for the difference is the fact that Holloway will be in the area here and they would eliminate their mobilization fees. So that would cut down on the cost considerably if we could go with the $17,000 quote.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Gable, second by McElhaney.
To be clear, I'm talking about accepting Holloway's quote. Motion.
Okay, Holloway quote for $17,000. Just to reiterate what Randy said, that includes placement of new riprap along the south abutment of the bridge and also supplementing and redistributing riprap along the north abutment to enhance existing coverage and ensure adequate stabilization.
That is correct.
For
Thank you.
17,000. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
I think that's all we got for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Let's back up
Thanks,
and do
Randy.
our facility manager report. We'll get Steve up here. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I gotta get well prepared on this thing.
That's fine. Take your time. It's fine.
All right, we'll start out with the ag building. Auctions, weddings, receptions, wedding receptions and meetings continue throughout the summer in the expos. The barn is set up for the 4-H Achievement Days, the first week of August. Blackburn Foundation is scheduled for the week of the 10th to do the sidewalk lifting and repairing. Government buildings. There are drain lines in the women's bathroom that's leaking, and it's leaking down in the clerk of court's office. We've had somebody come in and it was a Midwest lining to line it instead of replace it because it's marble flooring in there, and underneath between the ceiling is all cement concrete. So the remedy would be is to line that instead of replacing that drain or the drain line in there, or I should say the sewer line, and so that instead of replacing it to have it lined. So that is what is with the government building plus add on, and so we'll have a new employee to start on the 1st of August here. So. Park. There was 1,502 reservations with a revenue of $132,212.46 as of the end of Sunday. Weed spraying has been completed for the year / early summer. The spraying was a little tough this year due to some breezy conditions, which ended up being we completed on July 15th with this. Typically, we always try to get it done by the 1st of July, but with the conditions, it made it a little tougher. Also assisting the USDA APHIS on the biocontrol for emerald ash borer. Been doing some releases last month. We'll be doing a couple more this month. And so we had releasing some agents to help battle some of the ash borer. West Nile. South Dakota West Nile cases are 2 of this year with 1 death. Our mosquito trap collections are just at the threshold for fogging in some of the communities. I leave it up to communities if they want to fog. So far, we've fogged 4 times this year already for some communities.
No, Watertown just did it last week.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly if Watertown did everything. I do know that their numbers have been right at that threshold also, and so we had in some of those areas, so.
Did you say we had 2 West Nile cases
There's
and 1
two
death?
West Niles so far. That's the last report last week of this Department of Health that sent out. There's 2 cases in the state and there's 1 death.
It's not a
So-
very good success rate.
No, it's not. But I mean, I'm surprised at this time already, our numbers are that low, but they're forecasting not as high this year. I don't know why. That's our forecast and what it's been in previous years.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yep.
Right. Is that all you got? for your
That's all
report?
I have.
Any
for my
questions for
report.
Steve? All right. If not, Steve, let's go ahead and take a look at your report or your budget here. for
All right, which one do we want to start
Do
with?
with government buildings first.
Okay. Pull up 2 things here just for notes. Okay. Come on. Green. Do what I want you to do.
Do you want to see this? Would that help?
No, that's fine. I'm trying to, there we go. I didn't want to pull my other things up here.
In the
All
meantime,
right.
Commissioner Johnson's going to sing us a song.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you for saying that.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right, and on the my budget for the government buildings, I did the COLA increase and so but I also added a part-time custodian, for the maintenance. This is due to the increase that will occur here this coming year with the detention center moving out. This building will still have to be maintained, plus with the addition of a lot more space that's going to be over at the community services area. So I did add a part-time custodian. Not really probably right now to go and look at that until a little bit later in the year. And so we have to see how things are. So that's on my wages and so go down into repair. Those are pretty well the same there. As far as go down, everything else pretty mostly is the same. Did a little increase on the maintenance, but probably the biggest, there's one item, so we had the capital improvements. We've been having some issues with all the registers in the courthouse. They have been coming in, fixing some of them. The problem is a lot of components are no longer available, so they've been using parts and pieces off and on to try to fix some of these. So I did get an estimate and budgeted for replacing registers throughout the courthouse. You know, like it is, a lot of things are getting to the age of a lot of functions that need to be changed, and so we have a building here that's 100 years old, and I don't know exactly when these registers were put in, and so that for sure. But you know, like the maintenance of the plumbing and so you know, with a building this old, repairs are going to start to increase. So
So when you are seeing a $300,000 increase in that.
Right.
line.
yep.
Mr. Chair, just,
Commissioner Gable?
yeah, question on the registers quote that you got, the estimate. Would that be for some kind of a newer version?
Yep, a
of the system?
newer registers, more updated. And so yeah, they're a lot more advanced, updated. I believe they're more like digital type system instead of the turn valves and everything. So Yes.
Okay. Not like a mini split or something like that.
What's that?
No, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
It's not like the valves that could be painted.
No,
just for
no.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that budget? If not, let's move on to ag building. Let's do the ag building next, Steve. This again looks like it's pretty consistent with.
That one is pretty consistent, pretty well, the increase, and so that, I can probably almost don't really need much notes on that. One of the things that I got down, way down in the bottom, and so that is for, some equipment, some building stuff. And that would be, I've been budgeting for the last few years, trying to turn around and get for a digital signage put out by the road instead of putting letters all up all the time. I would probably see where I'm setting yet on the budget this year, but I put it in there for next year. And then one of the other things in so that is overhead door in the barn. That's getting in pretty tough shape. And so I'm looking at wanting to replace that. Otherwise, pretty well, most of the stuff is pretty generally, I believe, pretty well the same as what it was.
That signage, is that 432? Is that the
Yeah,
capital outlay
432,
building
yep,
increase that we're seeing?
yep,
Okay.
yep. That's what that would be mostly.
Okay.
Otherwise, most everything is the increase, of course, in the wages and so that from the COLA and stuff, so.
Any questions on that budget, commissioners? No? Okay, let's move on to weed control. Controller weeds.
All right, that's budget item and stuff from the weed control. In the wages area, I put, for a weed supervisor position back into that position. That is why there's such a big increase in that. Otherwise, everything else pretty well is, nothing really changed on none of the other line items totally, really at all. We've been maintaining that pretty well for the last so many years, and so we got pretty decent, so. But that is the one I did to turn around and add is a weed supervisor position back in. I am turning 65 this year, so there's things maybe in the development here, down the road here, so.
Okay.
To explain, when I took this position, one of the things that's that was agreed on is was I would take it, but I wanted to keep the weed supervisor position and so that, for keeping that. But on the pretense that down the road, if I wanted to go back to the weed supervisor and then have somebody hired for a facility manager. And so that's why, and then putting that back in, so it not leave everything on a director of facilities for everything. So.
Bit of foresight, I guess.
Commissioner Gable.
I was just saying that's showing some foresight.
Yep.
On the budget, so, okay.
So would that be adding a new position then?
It would be adding back because when the wage study was done, I did fill out the deal for both supervisor and for the weed supervisor and for the director of facilities, but they never did add that on the wage study into the wage scale system for the weed supervisor. That kind of almost got skipped and stuff due to me, I think, probably having this position.
It's kind of a unique role that you serve the county. Okay. Well, we can put it in there for now, I guess. Any questions on that?
Mr. Chair, just so people know what we're talking about. So some years ago, Steve had been the weed supervisor, and then when our facilities manager retired, a previous facilities manager retired. So Steve's been dual hatted since then. So that's why we're talking about this.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to county park.
County park is not hardly any kind of an increase really in the park. Pretty well maintain that all pretty well the same. I
don't see any increases in.
I don't really see any I'm scrolling trying to find. where it was laid at. Oh, this is where. It's one that Brenda sent out to me separately. Yeah, as far as that, it's pretty well, the biggest thing that you'll see is a $20,000 increase in maintenance and so that and repair. Like it is, there seems to be, we're starting to have a little bit more issues of water heaters and, and things like that in some of those buildings that we need to replace, lighting and so that. And so that's where we've been seeing more increases, so.
Any questions on that? If not, let's go to your last one, West Nile prevention.
West Nile prevention, everything pretty well is all the same, except for down in line item, 434, the equipment. Our fogger and so that is, we can't automatically throttle it. We have to go manually and throttle it now. We've been checking into it. We can't get parts for that unit anymore. So I did reach out to turn around and get an estimate for a new fogger. And so this is what is put in that line item budget. And so that, so they're not cheap.
27,000.
No, 27,000 for that. They are not cheap.
All right. I think that's it for all your budgets.
Yep.
Call. So let's go ahead and move down to item number, commissioners, do you have any questions on that? West Nile?
No, thank you.
If not, let's go ahead and move on to item number 12, since you're up here,
Yep.
Steve. And this is discussion possible action to approve a quote for updating the firewall at the extension complex. That should be in your packet.
Yep. So what I have here, I reached out, we've been having some issues with the internet stuff out there. Had Midco come out, had, Two Trees come out, come to find out the, firewall that's out there was put, the equipment for that is put in place in 2013 or 14. It can only handle 80 people. And so, and when we have major events like the farm show and other things, there gets to be nearly probably close to 300 people. So, Two Trees did turn around and reach out and gave me 3 estimates. And so that for upgrading the firewalls out there. And the one is, it's a MX75 router, which handles up to 200 users. That would be at $3,294. The next one would be an upgrade for 250 people, which would be $4,991. And the last one is for 500 users for $9,989. Now, I feel that one there is off the regards. We don't need to have something that large for that many. I've been tossing and thinking, of the other 2, which one to do and do. We probably have some peak times, maybe 200 plus users at the farm show, but I'm thinking in reality, and so we probably won't always meet that. And on the average, the cost per user, I kind of estimated cost per user usage. Actually, the Model 75 would probably be, it's the most efficient and so So my recommendation would be to go with the 75 at $3,294.
Because the odds of having everybody on there at one time is probably not.
It's not. So granted, you might have a peak time when there's an auction and those kind of things.
Right.
And that's what we've noticed. It's been shutting down when there's been an auction. So there's been, and so we're attributing some of this maybe to the router. We're also trying to turn around and see if other things that are, because one of the things that we've been having out there, we have the fire panel out there, and that is through a digital line, for the VoIP system. And then the backup is a cellular deal. For the past 3 weeks, we've been having continuously every day, once or twice a day, that we're getting notification that it did not send a signal. So we're trying to check in to see what all can be helping. We installed an external antenna for the outreach for the cell phone systems too. That doesn't seem to be helping, but I do know that they're supposed to be working on cell towers year around town,
Yeah.
doing upgrades. So we don't know if that's part of the issue also. So
Okay, we do have a motion on the floor for, to purchase the MX-75.
Second.
yeah, 75. Yep, for
MX-75 for 3,294. We have Commissioner Johnson with the motion, second by Commissioner McElhaney. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, just the definition, Steve, the definition of a user is, these are vendors, correct?
Yep, vendors, people that can be able to log in, they gotta have a password to log in and somebody.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Okay.
Especially during auctions.
Yes, I do have, I don't specifically have this, but I do have for maintenance, those kind of things.
Yep.
For extra things.
Okay, any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, you bet.
I think that's all we got for you, right? On
Yep.
here? All right. All right, let's move down to item number 13. This is action to advertise and hire 3 correctional officers as budgeted already. So we'll get Sheriff Brad up here and
I'm moving this here.
sounds good. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, how's it going?
Good,
Go on,
good.
Brad.
So you need 3 correctional officers.
3 correctional officers.
Okay.
To explain that a little bit, it's not 3 new full-time correctional officers. We had a death of one of our employees, so looking to fill that position. Looking to fill another position where a CO went to Hamlin County to be a deputy sheriff, so we had 2 open positions right now. And then the third position is a new position that we had planned for the new jail facility once we get it up and going. It is budgeted for this year to get that person hired and start getting that person trained, because it does take some time to get them trained and get them up and going. So
Motion to approve?
Motion,
Second.
motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Any further discussion?
How soon well, the 2 for sure, you'd want to get on staff right away.
I'd like to get all 3 of them, get them advertised and get them up and going,
Get them trained at the same
get
time.
them trained and going
Okay,
sooner the better. So,
Right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
all right, thanks, Brad.
Yeah, let's get Luke up here. Morning, Luke. Come on up here. Let's go over your budget here real quick for the planning board. Let me get you out of here. Unless you want to stay. It's up
That's
to you.
usually the response I get when I show up places. Let's get Luke out of there.
This is the planning board
Well,
budget.
Good morning and thank you. Yes, just a brief budget presentation for this year. In the end, I'll avoid skipping to the end here real quick, but realistically, there are no significant changes really proposed. The only numbers in there from a standpoint of the top end, which is personnel, which is everyone that's not your contracted employee, which is me. That is relatively steady now that we've got a handle on all of the ancillary benefits there as well. We hadn't in the past been spending the full amount that was budgeted, and that's because we had an extra member on that board that was not drawing any payment for going to these meetings. Now we do have a full membership of the board there, so that explains why it would have in the past gone from expenditures about 60% of what we have budgeted. So that number we expect to come up and go all the way, considering we are holding every meeting this year. It's been a busy year. So that is anticipated to remain the same roughly as was shown before. The professional services, that is one that we talked about last year and planning on continuing, where that contract with our office, presuming that you'd continue going with First District, is we're just planning a 3% increase annual, and then we'll even out whatever that number is on the back end. So I just went a hard 3% increase there, and we'll figure out so we're not billing 28 cents or whatever it is, figure that out to even it up. The rest of it, the rest of the things on here, you're publishing, it's budgeted and includes the actual that's budgeted publishings. In the past, we hadn't been getting there for them, and that's probably as much as anything because we've had less Board of Adjustment requests. This year, we have had more requests than we've had in the past. That said, I'm not looking at that probably to be fully expended the more I look at that, but that's why I decreased it a little bit. And then beyond that, the rest of those numbers, we kind of moved them. I budget mailings into a separate category with supplies, just for the sake of showing them differently, despite the fact when we wind up lining them out at the end of the year, we put them into another category that's in 429, which is actually where I budget for at least show what the annual dues are to First District. So I can carve that out on the back end. Bottom line, it says I have a conflicting number on here on my bottom as I described it here. It's an increase of 0.7%. So pretty much stable, $340 higher than last year. So I hope you can handle that.
Can we cut that back just a little bit? Sounds good. Any questions for Luke on his budget?
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. Nope, that's it. Thanks.
Thank
Luke.
you all.
Appreciate it. All right, let's move on to item number 14. This is the second reading and possible adoption of ordinance number 83. This is the proposed ordinance that would authorize the county to adopt a 1.5% county gross receipts tax to help provide property tax relief for owner occupied homes. And with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Gable, who will give us a second reading.
Okay, is this good volume? You hear me
Yep,
okay?
you're good.
All right. Ordinance number 83, an ordinance imposing a county gross receipts tax and a use tax for Codington County, South Dakota. Be it ordained by Codington County, South Dakota, Section 1, purpose. The purpose of this ordinance is to provide needed revenue while reducing the burden of property tax for Codington County, South Dakota by imposing a county gross receipts tax pursuant to the powers granted to the county by the state of South Dakota by South Dakota Codified Law 10-52B, entitled County Option Retail Sales and Service Tax for Property Tax Reduction, and acts amendatory thereto. The purpose of the county gross receipts tax is to provide property tax relief on the county property tax levy for all property classified as owner occupied. All monies collected by the county from the gross receipts tax must be deposited into a property tax reduction fund, which is hereby created and shall be administered in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 10-52B. Section 2, effective date and enactment of the tax. From and after the first day of January 2027, there is hereby imposed a county gross receipts tax upon the privilege of engaging in business, a tax measured by 0.5%, 0.5% on the gross receipts of all persons engaged in business within the jurisdiction of Codington County, South Dakota, who are subject to the South Dakota Retail Occupational Sales and Service Tax, South Dakota Codified Law 10-45, and acts amendatory thereto. Section 3, use tax. In addition, there is hereby imposed a gross receipts tax on the privilege of use, storage, and consumption within the jurisdiction of the county of items purchased from and after the 1st of January 2027 at the same rate as the county gross receipt tax upon all transactions or use, storage, and consumption, which are subject to the South Dakota use tax, South Dakota Codified Law 10-46, and acts amendatory thereto. Section 4, collection. Such tax is levied pursuant to authorization granted by South Dakota Codified Law 10-52B and acts amendatory thereto, and shall be collected by the South Dakota Department of Revenue in accordance with the same rules and regulations applicable to the state sales tax and under such additional rules and regulations as the Secretary of Revenue of the state of South Dakota shall lawfully prescribe. Section 5, interpretation. It is declared to be the intention of this ordinance and taxes levied hereunder that the same shall be interpreted and construed in the same manner as all sections of the South Dakota Retail Occupational Sales and Service Tax, South Dakota Codified Law 10-45, and acts amendatory thereto, and the South Dakota Use Tax, South Dakota Codified Law 10-46, and acts amendatory hereto, that this shall be considered a similar tax, except for the rate thereof to that tax. Section 6, penalty. Any person failing or refusing to make reports or payments prescribed by this ordinance and the rules and regulations relating to the ascertainment and collection of tax herein, levied shall be subject to all collection remedies authorized by South Dakota Codified Law 10-45 and acts amendatory thereto, and South Dakota Codified Law 10-46 and acts amendatory thereto, and hereby authorized for the collection of these taxes by the Department of Revenue. Section 7, separability. If any provision of this ordinance is declared unconstitutional or the application thereof to any person or circumstances held invalid, the constitutionality of the remainder of the ordinance and applicability thereof to other persons or circumstances shall not be affected thereby. And then going down to the and dated whatever day we adopt, this day of 2026, and then the signature block. So the first reading was held on July 7th, 2026.
All right. Thank you very much, Commissioner. This ordinance was made possible under a state law approved during this year's legislative session that allows counties to decide whether to implement the additional gross receipts tax as a local property tax relief measure. And that's the purpose of this ordinance. So with that, I guess I'll take the leeway at this point to open it up just for public comment. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on this issue? Anybody at all? Doug, come on up and introduce yourself and feel free to speak.
Doug Allen. Just very quickly, and I apologize, I have to get my father to a doctor's appointment, so I can't stay for the discussion, but I kind of stand opposed to this. It's a regressive tax. And I feel like at this particular point in time, there are an awful lot of people, primarily low-income people that don't own homes. And I'll be honest, I mean, I'd love some property tax relief. I think we pay quite a bit, but that said, I think this is the wrong way to go about it. So I just would urge you to consider that and consider the impact on people who are probably the lowest income levels that we have. And I know it seems attractive to tax people who come from out of state, but the truth is everybody's paying it. And if you've gone to a grocery store lately, you know that everything costs more money now, and that's having a very real impact. So thank you for your consideration. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else that would like to speak on ordinance number 83? All right, we'll go ahead and close that and open it up for commissioner comments. Commissioners, any comments?
Yeah, I'd make a motion to adopt.
Motion by Gable to adopt ordinance number 83. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Johnson. Any more discussion?
Yeah,
So have
Mr.
we
Chair.
received-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Commissioner McElhaney, you have.
Have we received any projected numbers from the state on this?
Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit. If that's okay, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Commissioner Gable, go ahead.
Okay, just looking at Watertown's when it gives you a rough idea. Watertown's not exactly the same as the county, obviously, but it's the primary place where where the taxes like this would come from. If you
Commissioner Gable.
Yes.
I'm going to interrupt you here for just a moment, but if you can speak up just a little bit,
sure.
We're having a little hard time hearing you.
Is that better?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I guess the rough number would be about 5.6 million to give you an idea, looking at taking Watertown's receipts in 2025 or the taxable sales in 2025 or the sales that would be derived from the taxable sales 2025, dividing that 2% tax by 4, it comes out to roughly 5.6 million in a year. So that gives you a rough idea. Obviously, with this kind of tax, you don't know exactly what it is, what it's going to be, but it gives you an idea. And that now the specific projection by the state, as far as savings goes on an owner occupied property tax for a $350,000 valued house would be something like $821 in savings. So that gives you an idea.
Okay, that's what we're looking at. Any other questions, commissioners?
Mr. Chair.
If not, Commissioner Gable, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Just want to comment on, I appreciate Mr. Allen's comments. the mechanism in this law would still, if the state ever decides to make changes in the way they say tax food or clothing or something like that, the mechanism in this law it would change the numbers a bit, the projections a bit, but the mechanism would still work. And the other thing I would say is, besides just, savings on owner occupied tax, this is also something that other states have tried where they've gotten counties involved in this part of, business in their jurisdictions is now, just kind of by default, it's going to, I think, cause us as county commissioners, as county officials to think more about sales and, a business in our county in a different way, as opposed to just valuations on property.
Yeah. Now, Brenda, correct me if I'm wrong. I understand that this revenue that's generated from this will go into a dedicated property tax reduction fund,
Correct, yes.
and that will be used to reduce the tax levy on
Right.
owner occupied property, right?
Yes.
This tax will go into effect on January 1st, 2027.
Right. So what you will need to also decide then if you're going to go off and projected or wait a year and get actual. I guess that's another decision you guys do not, that doesn't have to
Mhm.
happen today, but those are all discussions.
Yeah, can I speak to that a little bit, Mr. Chair?
Commissioner Gable, go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, the Secretary of Revenue has been very helpful and just, explain to me and walking through the, the development of this ordinance. And basically, like the auditor is saying, we could take projected, once we start seeing, it's assuming we adopt, and once we start seeing what the revenue looks like in the first few months, we can decide, and that's kind of a conversation, I think, with the auditor and the treasurer, how that mechanism would work, how soon we can start, using this money to offset property tax. And so it's and we'll just that's the next discussion. Just to kind of explain that a little bit. But it's obviously it's nicer to do it sooner, but we also want to do it correctly. And the big thing is to have that long-term savings on owner occupied property tax.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner McElhaney?
So the tax that's being put on, is there any clear-cut answers to how far it goes? I mean, is it pertain to say like agriculture purchases?
It's if are you talking about Mr. Chair, if I can answer. Are you talking about like machinery?
Yes.
Okay, no, it wouldn't pertain. It's just like vehicles. So those are subject to excise tax, which is a different statute.
So like when our highway department has to upgrade its graders, we're going to be paying this tax on them?
No, it doesn't pertain to that kind of machinery. So like say farm machinery or cars, or construction machinery. So it pertains to the things that a city gathers sales tax on. So it's kind of the same statutes about what's taxable would govern this as well.
Question. Any more questions? If not, I think we're ready to vote. We will do this by roll call vote. So I'll have Brenda take the roll, please.
All right. Van Duzen,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Schwer,
Aye.
McElhaney,
Nay.
Gable,
Aye.
4 yes, 1 no.
Motion carries for ordinance number 83. Thank you, commissioners. Let's move on to item number 15. This is action to approve abatement applications. No abatements?
No abatements today.
Item number 15, number 16, I'm sorry, action to approve claims for payment.
You have the one today, and that is for the new jail build, the different amounts, Architect Inc., Beckenhauer, Geotech, and Tegra, for a total amount of $1,518,830.49.
Move to approve.
Motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. You have other claims there, Brenda?
Nope, that would be all.
Okay. All right, let's take the automatic budget supplements. It looks like we have one for emergency management for the amount of $115,043.09.
Right. That's a pass-through from when they did that project at the water tower at Kransberg. So pass-through dollars put back into their budget.
Okay, so we do need an action.
Second it.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Schwer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 18 is action to approve personnel changes.
We have one, last, I believe, maybe annual step increase for Andrew, 42.43 an hour.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Travel requests.
Oh, I had one for the nurse. I don't have that information. They just found out yesterday that her staff is going to go and train someone. So if you would approve that travel request for her to go, it's before next week's meeting.
That's in
Move
the
to approve.
budget, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney to approve the nurse's office travel request. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioners, we're on to item number 20. This is a possible quorum that we could be at this week. Does anybody have anything? I imagine you guys aren't driving to Pier, but I do have a Standards and Training Commission, Law Enforcement Standards and Training Commission meeting in Pier tomorrow, so I will be at that.
Just the reminder, the next Tuesday, we will not be meeting, correct?
That is correct. It'll
Oh,
be on
yeah.
Thursday. And your tax deed sale due to getting publications requirements met will not be next Thursday. It will be on August 4th. So and that's how it was publicized.
Okay,
an
so next Tuesday's meeting will be moved till
Thursday.
Thursday,
the 30th.
the 30th. That is correct.
And what was what were you
The
talking?
tax deed sale will be on August 4th.
That's for that property that we
Yes.
already had. Okay. Anything for old business, number 21? Anything for old business? Anything for new business? Anything for public comments? Anybody from the public comments? I don't see anything online. Anything, commissioner comments?
Mr. Chair, just real quick, just
Commissioner Gable.
yeah, sorry, to follow up Tyler's update on the jail last week. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to take a look, but they're continuing construction or the erection of the precast panels on Area A, so that's continuing to take shape, which to me is interesting, at least, maybe not to you, but
Mm-hmm. It's good. Progress is good on that. Anything else? If not, do we have a need to go into executive session today? We do have a need for personnel. That would be SDCL 1-25-2 subsection 1. We'll look for a motion to go into exec.
So move.
Motion by by Schwer, second by Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We will go into executive session at this time. Do we anticipate any action to follow? Possible action to follow afterwards today. Okay. All right. Did we vote?
We
All in
did.
favor?
We
Okay,
did.
all
We
right.
did.
We're in
Well-
exec. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, is that action likely to, do we need to start the stream again? Is it that exciting of an action?
Yeah, I suppose we would if we come